Hi, my name is Frank Ocrop, and welcome to my presentation on the Campus Police Database. Now, here's the problem. Xavier University Police Station wants to make decisions based on data dealing with injuries or incidents, officer trainings, and safety trainings. Let's start off with the raw data. So here we have the training of officers. So, for example, we have Ryan Welch, and you see that he's at First Aid and American Heart Association, and Straight Baton, and Butler County Peace Officer Academy. And then we have another data source, which is the injury spreadsheet, which has a report number, date, report title, location, and the name type of the individual, which we don't see here because it's all blank, and whether the incidents of work-related, alcohol, drugs are involved, and STF, and also whether there's a sports accident. And then we have the medic notified and of the incident and whether the individual is transported to the hospital or and the health center. And next we have the safety training, which is different from the one you just first data source we saw, because it deals with all of these programs and they even have their topics. So it has to deal with safety, while the other source just deals with regular police work and what types of people are involved and the day, which I like to call frequency because we got annual, biannual, month of June. So yeah. Then we got who the presenter was and whether it was in-house training, and then we have the individual. I'm assuming because we got first name, last name, department, date training, and renewal date. So after some scrubbing, here's what you get. You first have the training, the police training, I should say, and the descriptions and the color code, since you saw all those colors on there. So you want to make sure you know what those colors mean, but I'm assuming it's important for the police officer to know. That way, because they can find out for themselves. And then you have whether it was on sheets or not. The training is what I'm saying. And then you have the individual, but let me go to the officer. And I sampled 4 of them and cleaned and scrubbed their data. And here's what we get for the police training fact table. You have the officer key, which is like an identification, the date key, which is like date is like month, day, and year, which we'll use in our other tables, fact tables, I should say. And then you have the training key, which is referring to this table. And then you have the report fact table, which includes incident, in which I got this from the injury data sheet. And I kept the report title, location, whether it was work related, whether there is alcohol or drugs involved, and this SCF. And we want to know about it, whether it's the results of a sport accident. And then we also use the date key again, because incidents can happen on certain dates. Then we also got the type, which says the what people were involved in the incident. And in relation to the individual, which since the data set we were given didn't have a first or last name or specific person, mainly for privacy reasons, or if someone would look at this data set and realize they are on here, they'd be like, oh, I don't want to be reminded of that. But anyways, I just numbered them off and gave many examples or made it up of certain people, like employees or students or visitors. All those people can get involved in an instance. And these keys, these yes, no fields are also from the original source. In the other cases, when you do a report, you want to make sure the person gets to safety or the hospital or wherever he's going to. Now, for the safety training, we have the key and the programs and the topics, which I got from the safety training key, along with these other things, which these 6 fields right here would probably be yeses or nos, which means that's the X means yes, and if it's blank, it probably means no. And I changed the wording on here to from date to frequency because it has a better ring to it, and because you got annual, biannual, monthly, all that sort of stuff. And then you have the presenter and whether the training was in-house or not. And then you combine that with the individual key and the day key to create a safety training fact table or a session fact table, because you want to know if a certain individual participated in a training and on what date. So then I got them all into Access, which is, this would be my star schema or whatever you call it. Like it shows all the entities being connected. And this is a good idea because you want to connect the incident key to the ports and the individuals connected to the port and the safety training session. And along with the safety training key. And I've also, well, let me go back to the relationships. Also, the reason why I did these 4 officers, well, it's not it's sort of like taking a sample of data set when you do statistics. And I think it works because, date fits in is kind of what connects them all. Like it's in every fact table, as you see here, and here, and here. And individual, I just made up random keys to connect the report to the, well, I don't know if I said this, but I'll say it again, to the session. That way I don't have all these fields and, anyone wondering why they're doing here when there's no connection. And the police training fact table is good to have because that way you can know which officer has more training and stuff. Like what he's all qualified for and everything. And I believe that is my solution. Thank you for your time. I hope you'll approve of it.